I'm Angela from CraftyGoat.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this watercolor pen. I'm going to start with this pen kit, which is from Boston ClayWorks. It's called the Amazing Twist Pen, and it comes just like this, a bunch of little pieces, but I'm going to show you how to put it together to make this pen. I'm going to start with about 1/4 of a block of polymer clay, and I've rolled it out to about the 4th thickness on my pasta machine. First I'm going to cover my pen barrels, and I'm going to put some liquid polymer clay on them first to make it easier to cover. I'll start with this barrel, trim the edges, roll it just until it meets, and then come back and use that line where it met as my cutting line. And then I'll smooth the seam by rolling it in between my hands. I'll use my clay blade to go around this end. And just trim off all the excess. That's one barrel, and now I'm going to do the same thing to the other barrel. These are ready to be baked. Bake them 30 minutes at the manufacturer's recommended temperature. These have been baked and cooled, and now I'm going to put on some alcohol inks for a watercolor effect. I'm using Ranger's alcohol inks, and I'm also using their little applicator because I think it makes it a little bit less of a messy job. The other thing that makes it less messy is a bamboo skewer. I put the pen barrels on there so I'm not having to handle it a lot as I'm doing the alcohol inks. First thing I'm going to do is spritz this with water. I like the way that gives it a watercolor effect. Next I'm going to apply the alcohol inks, a couple of drops of each color, to the applicator. And now I'm just going to start applying the color, just kind of randomly on my pen barrels. I like the way the colors blend and make new color combinations. Once I'm happy with the pattern, I'm going to put a layer of glaze on here so that the inks don't rub off on my fingers as I use the pen. And once the glaze dries, I'm ready to put it back together. The nice thing about these pens is that they just twist together. You don't have to hammer it together like some of the woodworking pens. The first thing we need to do is figure out which tube is the top. The top tube is a little taller, and you can also tell because the top tube is the one that only has one threaded end. The bottom tube has both ends threaded. We're going to take the clip and put it into the end cap and then screw both of these into the threaded end of the top tube. Now I'll screw the pin tip into the bottom end of the bottom tube. Now I'll take the pin mechanism and screw it into the other end of the bottom tube. I'll take the decorative band and slide that onto the pin mechanism. I'll twist in the pin refill, and then I'll push the whole thing back together. There we go! We've got a watercolor polymer clay pin. Thanks for joining me today. I've got lots more polymer clay instructions at my blog, which is at blog.craftygoat.com. I hope you'll come check it out. Thanks.